Good morning on August 8th, day 127. It's 2:51 in the morning. It's 50 degrees even and I'm gonna wake up. Alright, good morning again, folks. It's 4:09 in the morning, 47.4 degrees. Just breaking out of camp over at Lightning Spring. Didn't fall asleep super quick last night, which is a big bummer. Really wanted to, but didn't. Also kind of wanted to sleep in an hour or so, but then as I was struggling to fall asleep, realized just because I turn off my headlamp at 5:45 or 5:40 or whatever, by the time I turn off my headlamp, sunrise is done. Like, and as far as like the climactic pretty bits of sunrise. So decided to wake up 15 minutes later than usual. So alarm went off at 2:45. But once I did fall asleep, I slept great. And I'll say, very happy for that, because something I didn't mention yesterday is that I'm pretty sure Lightning Spring requires a specific permit from Crater Lake. So I didn't want to speak those words yesterday, but I'll report it today, now that camp is packed and I'm on my feet again. So, but I think you require a special permit to camp there. So I didn't have that permit. Don't like breaking rules, but sometimes you just kind of lean a little bit. I mean, it was Monday yesterday, so felt decent. Not like, a busy Friday or Saturday where they might actually be out checking and I might actually be competing with someone. Anyways, so today I do want to get up here to the lake for sunrise. I don't really know exactly where I'll post up for that sunrise. Just kind of depends how the sky is coming along. Once I get a little nearer, I should be with an eye shot of the sky and the lake in another mile or mile and a half or something, so not too bad. And the first basically 3 miles of the day is all climbing, and after that it's a little bit of ramble, and after that it's a lot of descent, and after that it's a little bit of ramble, and after that it's another big climb. So there is no water for 22 miles. So, and even then, that's a cache. So luckily that cache occurs 0.6 miles beyond the highway. I think it's 128, but I might be wrong about that. But it sounds like it's a very reliable cache. So my plan, carrying probably 4.5 liters, 10 pounds, give or take, of water away from camp. Carry that 10 pounds of water, drinking, of course, portions of it, 22 miles. And if that cache is in play, then I'll take water from it, obviously. And if it's not, then I'll turn around and hike back 0.6 miles, try and figure something out with the highway. Luckily that cache occurs right before the second big climb, so should be fine. Anyways, I'm gonna figure it out, start getting up these hills, and I'll talk to you guys later. 5 past 5 and 67.8 degrees. I have made it to home for the night. You can see my tent all pitched up. Of course, you watched me pitch that tonight, so that's pretty neat. Hope you enjoyed that. I am just about 28.4 miles into the day, and at mile 1859.4 northbound on the Pacific Crest Trail. Today was definitely a pretty good day. So I'm really kind of like, I'm feeling like I want to do 30s more reliably, and ideally more than 30s, like 30 heavy, or 30, somewhere in the 30 range. You know, barring anything else going on. But frankly, again, today there was something else going on. Obviously, I wanted to wake up just a touch later, get out of camp a little later, and get up to a vantage for that sunrise. And I think I definitely enjoyed that. Usually, I would like to put all of my clips in my videos chronologically, so they're appearing to you guys in the same order as they appeared to me, but I decided not to put that sunrise at the beginning of this video. Instead, I'm going to put it right at the end after these stats and everything, so that I could dedicate it to my wonderful sister, Wum. It is her birthday today on the 8th of August, so very, very happy birthday to you, Wum. Love you very much, miss you very much. Looking forward to seeing you when I get back. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're celebrating responsibly. Yeah, but anyway, so we went up and saw that sunrise. That was really cool. Met a few cool people up there. There was a small contingent of folks, not PCT thru-hikers, much to my dismay. I was hoping that my people would have turned out for that, but not so lucky. But that's all right. It was still a great sunrise, and then hiked on from there. But anyways, all that to say basically that with that sort of loss of hours, first thing in the morning, you're not really able to recover those hours. So I hiked until, shortly after 4, and then here I am. I also mentioned this morning about how there would be a significant water scarcity issue today. Luckily, I recalled coming across a southbounder a few days ago who kind of tipped me into caches along this stretch of trail. And so there were, 2 different caches. I think there's another one tomorrow somewhere. There's a little fly who's just flying around. And those were awesome. Super well placed. 10 miles apart and stuff, so pretty much perfect. So I didn't wind up carrying a ton of water, but right here at the end of the day, just about 2 or 3 miles ago or so, I stopped at Thielsen Creek, and that was the last water source moving north for like 15 or 16 miles. And in 15 or 16 miles there is a water source, but it's also like a third of a mile off trail, so that'll be 12 or 13 miles from tomorrow morning to get to my first water source. That's if I decide to stop at that one. I'm going to see where the next one is too, and if I want to just skip the first and go to the second, depending how far it is and all that. But yeah, and then so watched the sunrise. Luckily, I had more water on the trail than I was anticipating, and learned that before I had to carry all that weight. And then, of course, Thielsen Peak, man, which was super, super cool. And in fact, if you look off in the distance of some of these clips from this morning, as I passed Crater Lake, you can sort of see Thielsen Creek way off in the distance. So that was pretty cool. Just volcano hopping, man. This is Oregon. Oregon is just volcano hopping. So really, really neat. Finally, I'll just say I do have a couple decisions coming up in the next day or two, I think. There's going to be a bit of an alternate, which I may wind up taking. I can't really decide. And this, contrary to what I said a few days ago, would be an alternate I would take, frankly, pretty much with the sole intention of cutting miles, unfortunately. So it does save about, I think, somewhere between 7 and 10 miles or so off the PCT. But it also saves some elevation gain and loss. And frankly, with Jason coming into town, I really want to, I'll see how the next day or two shakes out. But I want to wrap my head around the mileage and where it is I want him to pick me up and stuff like that. And I got to be fair to him about trying to give him a sensible estimate of where I'll be when and stuff. So, excuse me, if I do wind up taking that alternate again, you can always check on my Gaia tracks and the links in the description below. This is an exact recording of exactly where I hiked, exactly when I hiked, how much time I spent hiking versus how much time I spent stopped on a daily basis. Really, really a cool thing. It definitely takes a few extra steps for me to put that together for you, but I like to think that it's helpful for anyone who's really interested in hiking, really interested in seeing what it is that I hiked specifically and stuff like that. So if those are good for you, like please do leave a comment, because it's definitely a few extra steps for me, and it's definitely a lot of extra battery on a daily basis for my phone to track that. So if that's something you enjoy, drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Of course, the Gaia tracks at the end of the hike, once I'm through with the PCT, all of these video descriptions will also be updated with just my Gaia folder for the entire hike, where you'll see my whole hike, all multicolored lines for my entire hike, moving all the way up the PCT, so that in perpetuity you can always go back and see what my mileage was. I think that's about all I got. It's definitely a long evening check, and I apologize for that. I'm gonna, oh, at that last water source 3 miles back, I didn't mention, but I cooked and ate and cleaned up down there. This is sort of my move whenever I'm going to be dry camping, just to save carrying a little extra water. If I don't need to carry it, I'd rather not carry it. Frankly, whether I eat dinner here or eat dinner 3 miles prior to here, I really don't care. So I'd rather just not save the water, or not carry the water. I do have about 4 liters of water right now as I sit here, so I won't need much more of it tonight, and then I'll use what I use for coffee and bidet in the morning, and then hike out with the rest, I think. So we'll see how we go. That's all I got for today. Appreciate y'all watching. Talk to you tomorrow. Happy birthday, Wom.